Numun super na wanya pomuden. Se wo benum so a, hwe hu ni se eye mega purified mineral water. Eye nso a yeto ni baby pa. Asaso ni so se kroje. Se wonya mega purified mineral water bogu ubu a, wo see you manum super. Mega mineral water de edanso. Esan say the modern technology so na ye. Ede na nkabia ni atri. Mega purified mineral water. Bacteria na mhen wa berem. Eye very hygienic. Obia di wadanse. Mega mineral water neatly packaged with 500 ml bottles mu. Na wani boswa na ukon donsio. Wobenya mega purified mineral water to bebia. To phone call dodo wa amount Frotipa Junction. Ana fre 050-7055-409. Ana 055-392-1088. Mega purified mineral water. Akona kono.
Hello there and welcome to the evening news on Adoatv. The evening news is coming to you live from our studios on the John Evans Atta Mills High Street in Accra. The evening news is brought to you by Asatec Roofing Sheet and Cookware, Migo Purified Drinking Water, Blue City Ties and Accessories, and Yaxin Herbal Mixture. Remember, you can also watch us live on Facebook at Adoatv Ghana. A look at our top stories for tonight's bulletin. The LGBTQ community in Ghana is still under siege as majority of the Ghanaian population are against the legalization of the act. Some 3 Galamsey operators have met their untimely death as they were trapped underground for hours. And on the international front, terrorist group Boko Haram have launched an attack leading to the death of some innocent civilians. Details of these stories and others in this bulletin. My name is Benedicta Dodu. Now, the lawsuit filed by the National Democratic Congress parliamentary candidate for Techiman South constituency Christopher Bayuri Basong T, challenging the 2020 parliamentary election results, has been adjourned indefinitely. Christopher sued the Member of Parliament for the area, Martin Ej Mensah Kosa, the Electoral Commission, and the Clerk of Parliament.
Mr. Basongti sued the Member of Parliament for Techiman South, Martin Ej Mensah Kosa, the Electoral Commission, and the Clerk of Parliament. Speaking after court proceedings on Wednesday, February 24, 2021, the National Democratic Congress General Secretary Johnson Esiedun Ketia said his side's legal team has still not succeeded in serving the Clerk of Parliament despite the suit being filed on January 11th. The NDC parliamentary candidate has decided to discontinue the case against the Clerk of Parliament upon advice from his lawyers. Our case will not hurt that much if we discontinue the processes against them so that we take Parliament out of it and proceed against the Electoral Commission and Martin Ej Mensah Kosa, he said. The court, however, requested a motion of notice which has to be served on the clerk before the case can be discontinued. The clerk will have to be served before Mr. Basongti can proceed with arguments on 2 other motions against the Electoral Commission and Mr. Kosa. Mr. Basongti's lawyers expressed disappointment with these developments, according to Mr. Esiedun Ketia. He believes that these technicalities are intended to unnecessarily delay the case against the intentions of the court and everybody. Mr. Basongti wants the declaration of Mr. Kosa as the winner of the parliamentary elections to be quashed. He also wants the Electoral Commission to be compelled to collate polling station results in the constituency in the presence of the representatives or the candidates. In his suit, he held that there was no collation of the results of the parliamentary elections for the Techiman South constituency and no declaration of the results could be made on the 8th of December 2020.
Now, over the week, one topic that has come under attack is the issue of legalization of LGBTQR rights in Ghana. The Pride rights community in Ghana are of the view that they have rights to association and believe that their sexual orientation is entirely their decision. However, some political, religious, traditional, and the public have heavily criticized this act. The following report has more.
The LGBT and Pride community in recent times have gained prominence in the world. This follows many endorsements from high-profile people and celebrities alike. This community is a loosely defined grouping of people. This community is a loosely defined grouping of transgender, bisexual, gay, lesbian, and transsexuals. They generally celebrate pride, diversity, individuality, and sexuality. News broke over the week that an office has been commissioned in Ghana to aid the activities of the LGBT+ community in Ghana. According to reports, this occasion saw the attendance of some foreign diplomats and dignitaries. One organization that has been in the front line against the legalization of the activities of the LGBT+ community here in Ghana have been religious bodies. My colleague, Nanyema Collison, in an interview via Zoom with the General Secretary for the Concerned Clergy Association of Ghana and Head Pastor for Garden Chapel International, Reverend Jonathan Yao Dr. Blay, he disclosed that
we are not saying that they don't have their right. Everybody has their right to do whatever they want to do. As a matter of fact, if you and your other colleague man decided to go into your bedroom to do something, nobody will come there to see what you are doing inside your bedroom because it's a private matter. In that case, you have your right to do whatever you want to do inside your bedroom. But what we are saying is that we don't come and do those things publicly, things that are done in privately between two men or two women. If nobody sees you, it's like you've been going to do something like, let's say, armed robbery. Though it's offense against our laws in Ghana. But if you manage to rob somebody, if nobody sees you, nobody allows cut you, goes free. Because you went and do that. So what we are doing, what we are saying is that to make this whole thing publicly is against our laws. Because when you read our laws, the Criminal Code, 1960 Section 104, who talks about the carnal knowledge laws, it's seriously speaking against those things. So we, as a clergyman, are saying that it's against our laws as a nation, our culture, our way of living. There's no way we should allow it to be done in public. Because if you give that go ahead, it means that you are going to introduce something strange to our society that is not what our culture, our way of life is. So that's the reason why we are saying, yes, you may have your right to do whatever you want to do, but if the right is against the laws of the nation, that right, it ceases to be a right. It ceases to be a right. So we love them as a man of God. In fact, it's our duty to talk to them, to preach to them the love of Christ. If I know that maybe my colleague or my friend is in that situation, I have to approach him to tell him that, my friend, this is and that is what the Bible says. You have to show them the love of Christ. But these people, what they are doing, they don't even know that what they are doing is, in the first place, is a sin to them. Because they think that it's their right, they want to do whatever. But we are governed by rules and laws in this nation.
As this issue is of national interest, my colleague Raphael Tete was at the Kwame Nkrumah Circle to also elicit the thoughts of some Ghanaians, and this is what they had to say.
From say, if I say roll special manifi, abe pem samre, you know. Me who say sa bakwasem no ebi wo ho say bema ene bema timida ana oba timida ana me hu bi so Bible mu. And let's say sa asobofo a Christian for asori penifo na omode da asori bebra no e wo so omon sori ntia sa nema no because e finkase e de mo man no.
We have already completed it all. Because being that kind of a act is very bad. It's very bad. It's not something advisable. So we youth, because it's been they have turned it to a practice where a man and a man marry each other, do all sort of rubbish, and which is not done that way. So to me, it is not advisable at all.
The alleged office have been raided by security officials and have been locked down. Some Ghanaians are of the candid view that the government should introduce stringent measures to annihilate the activities of the LGBT plus community.
Meanwhile, commuters and residents of the Accra General Post Office have raised concerns over a deep hole posing as a death trap to them on the Asafwache Nete Road. According to them, it's been 2 years now since the road has been in such a sorry nature. However, they say no attention had been given to it, and as such, they are calling on the appropriate authorities to get it fixed before the unfortunate happens. They've been speaking to my colleague Isaac Otu.
The Asafwache Nete Road is one of the principal roads in the Ashiedu-Keteke sub-metro and leads to the Kolebu Teaching Hospital. The deep hole, according to residents of the community, started as a small pothole in the middle of the road about 2 years, but was given no attention and has expanded over time and currently occupies a greater portion of the road, leaving little space for vehicles to safely ply. This situation has been devastating for about 2 years, with no attention given to it by either local authorities or the relevant government agencies. There is a looming disaster that could occur anytime soon, as this deep hole doubles as a death trap. It is particularly dangerous at night since there are no street lights to warn drivers of the danger ahead of them. Some commuters spoke to the news team.
I am remember Adoa so many years, but authorities are more Ghana and paying for highways and paying for Omu Found Omuchum, but Omo expected a nipper bewu, Amasmesi and Sana Omo Sabi and Diabet Arm the Babaye. Massa Amro is very bad, very bad. Say, ya Casse Yamefa Bimbanaka be the sweet. Na wonim samna no ho obokum nipa
me wona ke ka ba fi trouble agbo an kokko accident banye e krete bi ene o pa fa sana bo modin na ba fi sometime loli fitri yage boko ba be ba agbe mi o ba wonu boko sometime ba ba le we ba nye gbe o ba wonu o more than fi loli 3 be gbe mi no wonu e bi ene to mo be ni traffic e choke ke traffic e choke ni ke ame ha shi loli e me ni fi ya fi gidi na ni ya wa me fi o ame ash be no ana cafe ge mo go gbe mi boko ba nye ni e fi ba balance ke balance be no ali share no ge gbe mi.
Prince Quarte is assembly member for the electoral area. According to him, all attempts to get the menace fixed has proven futile.
I think it's here for over 2-3 years. Well, I've informed the authority to come and have a look at it, but still there is no progress. I'm in the sub-committees which work on these things, which is the works. So during the one committee meeting, the engineer who normally work on these chamber breakages and then damaging of road or dilapidated roads, I informed them. But they told me they are now working at Okankwe South. The contract that has been given to them is now Okankwe South. So later they will come and attend to me because I have a lot of damages of this kind of chambers within my electoral area. So I'm hoping and praying that they will come to my aid.
Two illegal miners met their untimely death after a hill very close to their mine site collapsed, trapping them and severely injuring one other person. The incident happened at Wasa Adiambram in the Menfi East municipality of the Western region.
Viewer discretion is advised. The 3 illegal miners were on their routine Galamsey expedition on Tuesday afternoon when a hill which had developed some cracks accidentally slipped on them, killing 2 and injuring 1 severely. The names of the deceased were given as Kofi China, 30, Jakut, 26. The injured victim name was given as Yenukwao, 26. According to eyewitnesses, The victims were under the rubble for over 2 hours before a backhoe was organized to the site to evacuate the debris in order to rescue them. After digging for hours, Yenukwa was rescued, but all his legs were broken. He was rushed to the Wase Kropong Government Hospital for treatment, but was immediately transferred to Techiman for further treatment. However, the two were found dead under the rubble. Kofi China, who is a Kusasi, had one of his whole arm unfortunately amputated. Their mortal remains have been deposited at the Wase Kropong Hospital morgue. The rescue exercise was supervised by the National Disaster Management Organization, NADMO, from the Wasa Menfi East Municipality. The Wasa Menfi East Municipal Director for National Disaster Management Organization, NADMO, Nanakomi advised Galamseyers to take safety precautions in their expeditions. Even though the government has banned illegal mining in Ghana, Galamsey activities in the area still continues. For Adoatv, I am Emmanuel Wilson.
You're watching the evening news on Adoatv, brought to you by Migo Purified Drinking Water, Azatec Roofing Sheet and Cookware, Blue City Ties and Accessories, and Yaxin Herbal Mixture. We'll be right back with more news.
Supa na wanya pomuden se wo benum nso a hwe hu se eye Migo Purified Mineral Water eye nso a yeto ne baby pa asaso ne so se kroje se wonya Migo Purified Mineral Water bogu ubu a wo see you manum supa Migo Mineral Water de edanso esan say the modern technology so na aye ede na nkabia ne atri Migo Purified Mineral Water bacteria na mhen wa bewrem eye very hygienic obia di wadanse Migo Mineral Water neatly packaged for 500 ml bottles. Na wani boswa na okondonsio wo benya Migo Purified Mineral Water to bebia to phone call dodowa amount 40 per junction and now for 050-7055-409 and now 055-392-1088 Migo Purified Mineral Water akona kono.
Ago, good people of Ghana, here are some safety measures on prevention of coronavirus. 1. Cover your mouth with tissue when you cough or sneeze. Dispose of tissue into a bin immediately you cough into it and wash your hands with soap under running water. Avoid shaking hands and use sanitizers as often as you can. Signs and symptoms of coronavirus include fever, cough, sneezing, and difficulty in breathing. Should you experience any of these, or for more inquiries, please contact 0558 439 868. That's 0558 439 868. Or call 0509 497 700. That's 0509 497 700.
Remember to always wash your hands with soap and running water.
This message is brought to you by the Ministry of Health, the Ghana Health Service, and partners.
Blue City is a manufacturer and supplier of high-quality fashion accessories. We design and make quality bow ties, flying ties, lapel pins, ladies' brooches, fabric necklaces, African wares, and so much more for your weddings, schools, institutions, bands, choir, singing groups, individuals, and so many more. We use both African prints and foreign fabrics to make your beautiful accessories for you. Oh yeah! Contact us via call or WhatsApp or SMS on 0240 926 564. Locate us at Odoko Official Town opposite Emils Preparatory School. Check us out on social media, Facebook and Instagram at Blue City Fashion. Blue City, creativity and style.
Thanks for staying with us. Now, Minister Designate for Lands and Natural Resources Samuel Jinapor has pledged to be more aggressive in tackling Ghana's alarming loss of forest cover. Speaking during his vetting, he said it was time for larger reforestation interventions.
Damaging to the forest. You know the Jamaican experience. The deforestation in Jamaica is attributed to bauxite mining, because Jamaica is one of the largest producers of bauxite in the world. Ghanaian environmentalists fear that the 23,000 hectare Adoa Forest Reserve in the eastern region will be under threat of deforestation as the government concluded the $2 billion resource for roads deal with China. Can you assuage the fears of Ghanaians that this reserve will not be degraded after the execution of the project? Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, the President of our country is the co-chair of the United Nations Secretary General's Committee of Eminent Advocates. And so matters of environmental preservation are absolutely primordial when it comes to President Akufo-Addo. Whatever we will do to ensure that the Adoa forest is not unnecessarily degraded, I want to assure the committee we will do that. Wherever you have an extractive industry, the balance between exploiting your natural resources and preserving the environment has always been a very delicate one. But what I do know is that the Ghana Integrated Aluminium Development Corporation has a green unit under their secretariat, which is specifically paying attention to issues of Adoa forest. Adoa forest and other forest reserves which may be impacted by the work of the Ghana Integrated Aluminium Development Corporation. So I can give that assurance that if I get the opportunity, it's a matter that I will have a keen interest in.
In 2019, Global Forest Watch estimated that there was a 60% increase in Ghana's primary rainforest loss in 2018 compared to 2017, and that was the highest in the world at the time. One of the world's largest and most experienced independent conservation organizations, World Wildlife Fund, also added Ghana in its 2020 Deforestation Fronts report published in January 2021. It believes there is a likelihood that Ghana will experience high rates of forest loss between now and 2030. Smallholder farming has also been identified by World Wildlife Fund as the key driver of forest loss in Ghana, accompanied by small-scale timber harvesting. Again, the World Bank estimates that deforestation is costing Ghana $400 million a year. In view of this, the Minister-designate for Lands and Natural Resources, Samuel Jinapor, speaking during his vetting on these menaces, said it was time for larger reforestation interventions.
In 2018, Mr. Mafaida Dat, head of Climate Investment Fund of the World Bank, indicated that Ghana has lost half of its forests since the year 2000. He added that Ghana is losing forests at 2% rates per year, and projected that if that continues, Ghana will soon join the 4 countries in the world without forests. In 2019, Global Forest Watch use updated remote sensing and satellite data from the University of Maryland and estimated that there was a 60% increase in Ghana's primary rainforest loss in 2018 compared to 2017. This is the highest in the world. What concrete measures can you put in place to check this rate of degradation of our forest cover?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. First of all, I think we can tackle a matter like this through a multifaceted approach. Clearly, the enforcement of the laws relating to the preservation of the environment will be key, because Mr. Chairman, the honourable member talks about degradation. So we're talking about the felling of trees, harvesting of trees, but there are laws, there are copious, comprehensive legal regime, enforcement regime in respect of how we harvest trees in our country and so on and so on. So we need to strengthen that. We need to examine what enforcement regimes we have. The issues of personnel, the issues of the protocols, the issues of monitoring and all of that. We need to do that. And also I've talked about this aggressive afforestation. I think that will also help. If we're able to also get a grip on illegal small-scale mining, that will also help with the degradation, the prevention of the degradation of the environment. Thank you.
He suggested that the president will also headline an annual tree planting exercise, as well as adding that the Asantehene, Yana, and other prominent members of society will also partake in the exercise. Meanwhile, on how much overall recovery efforts would cost, Mr. Jinapo said the situation was now being assessed.
Meanwhile, responding to a question in relation to inadequate and insufficient street lighting in the country, the minister-designate for Railway Development, Honorable Peter Amewu, who was the former energy minister, stated that the ministry, as at that time, started an aggressive initiative to introduce street lights to some selected regional capitals and district capitals. However, inadequate capital was a challenge that made it difficult to achieve their goal.
Speaking during his vetting, he narrated that the minority legislators, upon his arrival in the chamber, hooted at him and he wasn't pleased with that kind of behavior from his fellow colleagues. He said that the NDC MPs welcomed him in a quite hostile way, which shouldn't have been the case, looking at the fact that he was a fresher.
On the 7th of January, when the Speaker was to be elected, with Parliament being sworn in some of the videos that we have watched and in some of the commentaries that we have heard, regrettable incident, which is a negative on our parliamentary democracy. You were heard, kindly put your mic off, Chairman. You were heard in some nice Muslim bubu dress. I'll kill. Did you mean that? I'll kill you all. And I'm told that your words was used as justification by those who ought not to be on the floor of Parliament, like the security invasion. So you were heard. I'll kill you. Did you mean that? What did you mean by I'll kill you? And who were you targeting to kill?
I wish my entry to the hall should have been played back. As a first-timer entry into this hall, my good friends, colleagues from the part of region that I came from, together with other members, welcomed me in quite a bit hostile way. I thought as a new member, having won a very difficult seat, as we chair, only to be hooted at Juloe, Fiafito, and all those words. That actually was a trigger, but jokingly, they were of course joking. That was also a trigger of my anger by using that word.
Mr. Amewu was called a thief because of the controversy surrounding the regional redevelopment that led to Central Kofi, Akpafu, Lipe and Lolobi being detached from the Hohoi district and put in the new Guan district in the Oti region. He, however, proceeded to apologize, saying he unconditionally withdraws his words.
Chairman, the night of 7 January actually was a black day in Ghana's democracy. Yes, of course, Mr. Chairman, I used that word. I regretted it. As I stood before this platform, I want to withdraw that word unconditionally. My constituents, of course, are watching me. Mr. Chairman, I'm a peaceful man. Of course, the use of the word came out of overreaction, which is, of course, one of my negative aspects, overreaction. Mr. Chairman, I'm trying to work on that. And Mr. Chairman, I reiterated to say that I unconditionally withdraw the word.
Meanwhile, the Member of Parliament for the Hohoi constituency and the Minister-designate for Railway Development, John Peter Amewu, said he is sure he would have garnered more votes in the Hohoi constituency should eligible voters in the newly created Guan district comprising Central Kofi, Akpafu, Lipe and Lolobi had voted in the constituency. Mr. Amewu won the seat with 26,952 votes in his third attempt at becoming the parliamentary representative for Hohoi.
On to some business news now. The Chartered Institute of Bankers Ghana CIB has in its 2020 extensive review iterated that profitability, which is key to every bank's health and growth, should not be overridden by other factors such as the brand's promise, integrity, constant innovation, and adherence to ethics. The Institute, in nudging banks to stay true to customers, are of the belief all banks must consolidate the gains, confidence of consumers and businesses in the banking sector, as well as reaffirm that banking thrives on the confidence, poise, and self-assurance that stakeholders, customers and clients have in bankers. The statement added that apart from the knowledge, skills and technical expertise professionals in the industry possess, there is a need to exhibit integrity in order to gain the confidence of the public.
The Chartered Institute of Bankers Ghana noted that banks must be more innovative in these trying times to drive their markets. Mr. Charles Ofori Akwa, CEO of CIB Ghana, said bank innovation must be original and more effective, and as a consequence that breaks into the consumer market and business society. He was of the view that banks must strive to improve on their innovations to attract, retain and grow customers and businesses into banking space, and for that matter, raise their confidence the more in Ghana's economy. The Institute believes that investment in human capital development must run along with technology to create agile businesses and sustain profitability, because a workforce well-resourced with digital skills is capable of mastering and navigating technology in the business of banking. The Institute also added that as organizations deploy more sophisticated technologies as a catalyst for improved performance, criminals and criminal organizations, by their praying eyes, also sense an opportunity. Digital transformation has therefore also created new vulnerabilities which criminal groups are quick to exploit and monetize. The Chartered Institute of Bankers Ghana says it is aligning its professional education to these new megatrends and have embarked on a major curriculum review of the Associate Banker program. The Institute further said it will use its continuing professional development programs to help practitioners upskill and, where required, reskill to secure their job role.
Now, after being badly hit and restrictions on trade, new data shows generated from trade with other countries have rebounded strongly, a feat the Bank of Ghana has attributed to the effective revenue collection method implemented through the Integrated Customs Management Systems (ICUMS). According to the bank's quarterly bulletin report, taxes generated from international trade within the stated period jumped to 3.3 billion cedis from 1.2 billion cedis the previous year. This represents 176.3% more than the budget target of 1.2 billion cedis for the period. The Bank of Ghana says the sector's impressive performance can be credited to increased revenue from cost, insurance and freight, and the newly instituted ICUMS, which has introduced changes in the revenue collection system and increased monitoring by various bodies and agencies.
The development is positive news for the economy, especially when compared to the first quarter bulletin report that showed taxes generated from international trade recorded 829.7 million cedis, lower than the budget target of 1.2 billion cedis, with total import duty falling 34% lower and recording a year-on-year decline in growth of 42.5%, all due to the closure of the country's borders. Despite international trade rebounding strongly, other sources of revenue continue to deplete, a sure indication that these sectors have still not been able to pick up the pieces after they were wrecked by the effects of the pandemic. For example, taxes on domestic goods and services recorded revenue of 3.4 billion cedis, which is 20.8 percentage points lower than the program target of 4.3 billion cedis. This tax component comprised excise duty and petroleum tax, VAT collections, national health insurance levy, Get Fund levy, as well as communications service tax. Petroleum taxes, which constituted 83.1% of excises, missed a target of 1.15 billion cedis by 55.7 percentage points as it recorded revenue of 510.1 million. Again, VAT collections missed a targeted budget of 2 billion by 8.9 percentage points. This was occasioned by lower than expected external VAT collections of 572.1 million cedis against the target of 927.4 million cedis. Non-tax revenue also followed in the same path by generating 1.5 billion cedis, representing 26.3% lower than the programmed target of 2.1 billion for the third quarter of 2020. Other revenue streams, such as the Energy Sector Levy Act, also saw a decline of revenue to 530 million cedis for the review period against a target of 730.4 million cedis. This, the report attributes mainly to lower than anticipated demand in petroleum products due to impacts of the COVID-19 pandemic. However, taxes from income and property during the third quarter recorded revenue of 4.9 billion, marginally higher than the programmed target of 4.9 billion cedis. The increase, according to the central bank, was on account of improved collections in self-employed taxes as well as other direct taxes by 47.6% and 30.5% respectively. Government, however, has through the first quarter budget expressed confidence that the revenue situation will get better in the fourth quarter through to the end of this year, banking such hopes on increased activity.
And that is it for tonight on the evening news on Adoatv. My name is Benedicta Dodi. For more news, log on to our website, adoanewsonline.com. Thanks to Migo Purified Drinking Water, Azatec Roofing Sheet and Cookware, Blue City Ties and Accessories, and Yaxin Herbal Mixture. Thanks for staying with us. Enjoy the rest of our programs.